Hi everyone, happy holidays. So it's the Sunday before Christmas and I'm gonna start my baking. So I'm gonna start the fruitcake process. It's fruitcake, black cake or rum cake, and you know Trini Christmas isn't the same without a nice piece of moist and intoxicating black cake or fruitcake. So I'm gonna start off the baking today and I'll run you through everything that I'm doing. I'm gonna do like a natural video. It's not gonna be edited like a normal recipe video. It's gonna be a little bit different. So I hope you enjoy it and I hope you enjoy baking with me. So I have a few of the ingredients here already. I got my fruit base. So I have some pitted prunes. If you could get the pitted one, that would be perfect because you know it's much easier, less work. I remember as a child I was in charge of de-seeding the fruits and I ate a lot of them in the process too while I was getting the pit out. I have some dried cherries. You could use the maraschino cherries. I went to Walmart and I couldn't find it, so this one I think I got this at HEB, which is a grocery here in Texas. And I have the butter. I just took it out the fridge this morning so that it comes to room temperature. So when you know you're gonna bake, like in the morning or maybe the night before, take out your butter and your eggs and let it come to room temp. I have just a few ingredients here, but first I'm gonna work on the fruit base. So I have some raisins also. I couldn't get currants. That's one thing I couldn't find. I'm sure it's in some store, but I didn't find it. And I got this orange peel. This is what it looks like. So I'm using this in place of the mixed peel that we use back home in Trinidad and Tobago. That's one thing, it was hard to find this. I got this at HEB and this was the last one left. All they had left was candied ginger. So I took this one quick. And I think next year I'll maybe have to order it online because I saw they have the mixed peel online, so I'll get that. And it's still not the same like the one we get back home, but I'll have to make do with what I could find. So I'm gonna have to stretch this because I have a good few cakes to make. So first I'm gonna pour everything out into a bowl and wash it properly, and then we're gonna simmer it on the stove. And that's my little hack for when, like let's just say you want to make a fruitcake today for tomorrow. That's the easy way to go. You put it to simmer in a pot and it gets nice and soft, like it's been soaking for months or for years. So that's how my mom usually makes her fruitcake and it turns out amazing. Most of the times I can't tell the difference if the fruits have been soaking all year round or if it was made the same day. So it's up to you on how you like it. This is how I usually make fruitcakes because I never usually have fruits on hand all the time, or you know, fruits soaking in the cupboard. And because we just moved here to Texas, I didn't have any fruits, so I'm gonna just show you an easy way how to do it. So I'm just gonna pour everything out into this bowl. So this is the cherries. The raisins. One thing I forgot to mention to you all, maybe I did mention it, I have an electric stove now. So you know your girl trying hard to learn how to use an electric stove. I done burn up two things already. Kevin already burned bread and I burned sugar when I was stewing. So okay, so I'm just gonna wash these for now and this is not all the fruits though, but I'll show you. few of them running away too. So I just added all the fruits to the pot. I'm using this large cast iron pot. So I have to build up my pot collection. I don't have a lot of pots at the moment. This is the only deep pot I have, so I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna turn the heat up, and you want it to be on low. So I have it on a low heat right now. And as I said, I have an electric stove now, so this is the first time I'm gonna be doing the fruits on an electric stove. So let's see how that goes. Let me add this orange peel in. This doesn't need to wash because it's in a kind of a sweet syrup, so it's fine if it goes into that mixture. So I'm doing something a little bit different this year. I usually simmer it in my regular alcohol and the cherry brandy, but I'm gonna make a few non-alcoholic cakes, non-alcoholic and eggless cakes for some friends. So I just decided to soak everything, or to simmer everything first in grape juice, and then when it's finished simmering, I will let it soak a little extra. I'll let mine soak a little extra in some alcohol. So I hope that turns out good. That's why I didn't want to do a recipe out of this video, because it's not like a legit black cake. It's just my take on it this year. So I'm adding some Welch's grape juice. So you just want to add enough. I'm saving some to soak the cake when it's finished. So you can add Ribena, you could add currant juice, you could add cranberry juice, but the Welch's gives a lovely flavor, and it also gives it a nice color. It gives that nice rich blacky color. So I'm just gonna let the heat, so I'm just gonna let this come up to temp, and then we could cover it and let it simmer. So now that the grape juice is in there, I'm gonna cover it and let it simmer. It's gonna simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like in the process. If you're doing the alcohol, make sure it's on a very low heat. You don't want that alcohol to burn out. So make sure it's covered so that it gets nice and soft. So while I wait for these fruits to simmer, I'm gonna finish up my kombucha, and I'm gonna have some late lunch. It's nearly 5 o'clock and I haven't had lunch yet. So I'm gonna have some lunch, and then I'll come back and show you what the fruits look like when they start simmering. So it's actually been about an hour. The fruits have been simmering, and they are very nice and soft, and I'm gonna turn it off now. So they'll start to plump up and they'll be nice and soft. So just take your spoon and feel it. So this is good, and once I turn it off, I'm gonna let it cool completely, and then I will put it into the blender, or you could put it in your food processor and you just pulse it until it's at the consistency that you want. So make sure it's cooled completely, because you don't want to put this into your blender while it's still hot, because then the whole blender is just gonna blow up. So just save yourself and just leave it to cool completely. I know it's tempting, but leave it to cool, and then we can work on it from there. because you don't want to put this into your cake while it's still hot or warm, because then it'll spoil quickly. So while the fruits cool, I'm actually gonna work on the sponge cakes. So I'll show you all that. So I have all the ingredients here for the sponge cake. This is the exact recipe I have on the channel already, but I'll still tell you all the ingredients to make it easier. 4 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 8 eggs. Oh, and a lot of people asked if you can use brown sugar. Yes, you can, but I find the taste is different. It's up to you. If you use the brown sugar, the cake will come out darker. White sugar, it's lighter, like the typical sponge cake. 4 teaspoons of baking powder, some zest. So I'm using some lemon and some orange zest. Some milk, using about 2 cups of milk. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, or a little more, because I like the flavor. Some essence. I don't really measure the essence, but I'll use about, I'll say about a tablespoon. Some almond extract, just a little bit because that's strong. Some ground nutmeg. So I have the fresh nutmeg here that I got from Callaloo box. I got this essence also from Callaloo box. A little bit of allspice, and I'm supposed to have bitters somewhere here. Let me see what our bitters is. So we definitely need that bitters. So yeah, now I'm gonna start preparing everything. So the first step is to cream the butter and the sugar together. So I'm just gonna add the butter in. Grease your dish. I actually lined my dishes with some wax paper, but I'll still save this in case I need some extra butter to just grease the pans. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let this beat for a little bit, and then we'll add the sugar in. So it's actually really nice and soft. It's at room temp. So that's how you want your butter to be when you're baking. You want it to be nice and soft. So we need 2 cups of sugar. Now you want it to mix until it's nice and fluffy. So you just want to go in and just scrape the sides to make sure everything gets mixed in. And what you're looking for is like a pale yellow and a fluffy mixture. So this is only going to take about 2 to 3 minutes on medium speed. So now it's time to crack the eggs. And I like to crack them in a small bowl first. Crack them one by one and add them. And then, just in case you get any bad ones. So if you get any shell in there, it's easy. You just take one of these shells and you just scoop it up like this. Ooh, these eggs are soft. This is the first time I'm buying this specific brand. So you just add it to the bowl as I do this, I'm gonna have the speed on low, and I'm just gonna add all the eggs in. So all the eggs are mixed in, and the reason for cracking the eggs one by one and adding them in one by one is so that in case you get a bad one, it doesn't spoil the whole batch. So that's like if you're using farm fresh eggs, especially back home in Trinidad, I used to get a lot of bad eggs. So it helped to crack them separately. I never had the issue over here, but I still take precautions. So now to this, I'm adding all the liquids. So like the mixed essence, I'm gonna add that in. I love the flavor of this. Shout out to Callaloo Box for that. Some almond extract. I'm going in with the dash of bitters. So 2 cups of milk, and I'm just going to warm it up a little bit in the microwave. So now to the flour, I'm going to add the dry ingredients. So for the baking powder, it's 4 teaspoons. So 1 teaspoon per cup of flour. I'm doing about 4 teaspoons of cinnamon, which is just over a tablespoon. Yeah, that's a lot of cinnamon. I like a lot of cinnamon in cakes. A little bit of allspice. And the nutmeg. I'm gonna do about half of this nutmeg. But it's kind of small, maybe I'll do the whole one. I find it tastes best when it's freshly grated like this. Or you could just use this pre-ground one too. So you're just gonna mix this. Just to incorporate everything. And I like adding a little salt. The salt really brings out the flavors. So that's a little tip for you when you're making desserts. Always add a little pinch of salt to it. So I'll just add the flour a little bit at a time. And then continue mixing it. sides to make sure everything gets mixed in. So once it's mixed in like this, all you have to do now is add your fruits. If you're going to make a fruit cake, at this point you just have to add your macerated fruits and some browning, and that's it. And it turns into a fruit cake. But this batch is going to be just plain sponge cake. So I'm pouring some of the mixture into this springform pan. And it's lined with some wax paper. This is just to get any air bubbles out.
Got the beauty inside for everyone to enjoy. Standing up close.
So I'm gonna make the browning now. I totally forgot about that. So before I blend up the fruits, I'm just gonna make the browning quick. This is 2 cups of sugar, brown sugar, and I'll show you how to do it. I showed just a fast video on how to do it on the Trini, the sorrel fruitcake video. So I'll link that below if you wanted to go check that out. But this is really easy. You just have to be very, very careful because you know hot sugar could burn you. So I'll show you the process on how to do it. So you're just gonna spread out the sugar on the pan.
It's Christmas, some kind of love, my friend. I pray it will never end. Do you like to be here too?
And you're gonna wait for it to start to caramelize.
Outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. I'll spend all these Christmas.
And of course, make sure you have a dry spoon because you don't want to go in there with a wet spoon.
Oh, it's such a charm.
So it's already starting to melt. So what you want to do is just keep stirring.
You said I wish this will never be over, darling,
so that it caramelizes evenly.
It's time to get out in the snow, lighting a light with you.
And you want to keep some hot water on hand. For 2 cups of sugar, I'll use 1 cup of hot water.
As much as I do, it's a wonderful feeling from floor to the ceiling. It is that time of the year.
So it's getting there. See, I don't want to put the heat too high and then it burns. So I don't mind it being on a little lower heat. That way I could control it.
Pick up some candy canes and hang a wreath on your door. It's Christmas. Outside snow.
I'm just testing out the cakes to see if they're good.
It's just you and me tonight. It's just you and me tonight.
So the skewer came out clean, so
it's just you and me
looks like it's good. I'm just gonna leave it in there to get a little color.
with you.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snow Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight.
So now I'm gonna blend the fruits up in this Ninja. I'm not gonna blend it all the way until it's really pureed, but I want it to be chunky still. So it's completely cooled. So I'm just gonna add it to this. And I decided I'm gonna bake tomorrow instead of tonight, because it's already after 10. So I decided to bake it early in the morning, because these cakes take a few hours to bake, like 2 to 3 hours. So I'm just gonna pulse it a little bit.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light.
I don't like when
while
the
we're
fruits are
dancing
too
around the
pureed.
Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard
That's great,
before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. We're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho ho ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying hi to every friendly face, and later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Merry Christmas Day.
Hey everyone, so it's like 12 o'clock the next day, so it's Christmas Eve. Actually, it's Christmas Eve now. So I'm just about to bake some more of the fruit cakes. 2 of the eggless ones are in the oven, so I'm gonna do my own, the ones with the eggs and the alcohol. So I'm just gonna mix them up and then I'll put them to bake. That'll take the next 2 hours. So I'll probably take a little rest and I'll let Kevin watch them while I sleep. And we just did the ham, we did pastels, shrimp and beef, and we decided not to do hops bread again because we had some brioche rolls. So instead of wasting those rolls, I decided to just skip the bread maybe until all is. So this is what the browning looks like. It's not as thick as the browning you buy in the store, but it has a really lovely color. So I just have this here, and I just boiled some sorrel, the dry one. So I have this steep in here, and I made some panchakram. So I made this bottle. I also made some non-alcoholic panchakram. They're both coconut flavored. So this one is for me to keep home, and I have another eggless one, non-alcoholic, for my friends. So yeah, so everything's going good so far. We're on track. So I'm very tired. Hopefully I could be done with this in like 2 hours and then I'll go take a rest. the browning. With this homemade browning, I just like to add a little bit and then check it to see how it looks, and then in case it needs some more, then I add it. So it looks like a chocolatey brown color, like a caramel color actually. I'm gonna add the fruits in. So I just like to add until it looks nice and rich. So that's about 5 of these spoons. What y'all think? I could do with some more fruits, right? So I actually put about 10 of those spoons of fruits. This is perfect for me. This is just how I like my fruit cake. It's nice and rich. So look at this. My mother-in-law taught me this trick. She said if the spoon stays in the middle like this, it means it's perfect and it's ready to be baked. If it falls, it means it needs more flour. So that's like an old school way of knowing when fruit cake is ready. Or actually when the batter is ready. So I'm gonna put these 2 cakes into the oven now. I decided to use this foil tray because I don't have a lot of baking trays, and then the next 2 just came out of the oven, so they're still hot. So this is the eggless and non-alcoholic one. It's soaking in grape juice. So as soon as it comes out of the oven, I like to soak it. But you can't touch it at all because it's really soft, so you have to let it cool completely. And once it cools completely and it soaks up all the grape juice, it's gonna get soaked again in grape juice. So this one already soaked up the grape juice. I'm gonna keep soaking it once I see that it dries out, and it'll be really nice and moist. So now I'm gonna put the next 2 into the oven, and I'll show you how they look when they come out. So this is our Christmas brunch. It's just Kevin and I. So we're having a traditional Trini Christmas. So we have the pastels, beef and shrimp. The ham, of course, and no hops this year. We're doing brioche buns, but we'll do the hops for Oliers. Bertie's pepper sauce, chow chow, compliments of callaloo box. And we have some homemade sponge cake, the fruit cake that I made. Really nice and moist, but it only got to soak in the alcohol once. So I'll have to soak it a little bit more later. Some cookies, chocolates, and apple pie from Costco. And you know, every Trini Christmas must have this Danish cookies. The only thing missing is the fruit Santa cookies, those Delta strawberry filled cookies. And then of course we have the drinks. Kevin has his single malt scotch front row and center. There's sorrel to the right, homemade pancha creme, eggnog from Costco. So this is our simple Christmas brunch. kachori. So
You
this
got
is
this,
kachori. We're in Auntie Molly's kitchen today again for Christmas dinner. So lots of vegetarians gonna be here also.
Bodian cheese and goat chunks. Oh yeah, of course.
You have to go to the before it gets empty. Stew chicken, curried goat. Wow, a big cooler out here. What do mommy?
And this is the carrot.
Must have shot in there.
Nice. This one is here.
So we having a curry Christmas.
Yes. My house is being curry.
Black cakes, sponge cake, more black cake, cookies, fudge. Right, and what you have here? Oh, same thing. Okay, okay. And this is a cream cheese dip, and this is gonna be eaten with crackers. Let's see, Hilton brought fudge.
I've never had the fudge from Hill before.
So it's salted caramel,
yeah.
Rocky Road, and chocolate peanut butter.
Yep.
Okay. That was good.
Here, you wanted that?
Yeah. Do you want to be on my video?
I don't know.
Okay. So this is Hilton.
She slammed that.
So this is salted caramel. I love this texture.
Bucky. That is good.
Good, eh? I like how soft it is and it's not like hard.
It's not overly sweet. Well, the one I had wasn't overly
Oh, this
sweet.
one is kind of sweet.
Oh, like you ever eat fudge in your teeth hurt? That's what I mean by
So
overly
sweet,
sweet,
yeah.
yeah.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, we're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho ho ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake,